Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Adventure Cave Tours. Live a day in the life of a real adventurer with Adventure Cave Tours. And the Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Well, we are back. This feels crazy to be back in the saddle. It was only a week, but it feels like a long time, doesn't it?
It did feel like a while. It did.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank, an all-star cast for filling in for us while we were taking a little family time last week. Diana Tyndall, of course, from Modern Day Marketing, was there every day, kind of running the show. And then she was joined by Joe Dawes and Joy Robertson and Carrie Richardson and Brandy Harris and Jenny Filmer Edwards. Like I said, an all-star cast of well-known people in Springfield. Filling in for us. So thank you very much for keeping it going. And thank you for watching and listening. We're thrilled to be back.
I told Diana she was the guest booker extraordinaire.
She was.
Because I didn't know who she was getting. She was like, don't worry. I got it all taken care of. I got it all under control. And then she comes in with the heavy hitters, you know?
Yeah, she called in all her favors. So now she owes them favors. Getting up early to do some podcasting.
So, yeah, thanks to all of them. And here we are with the news. 8 people are being treated for injuries after a boat went onshore. A boat went onshore and hit a house at Lake of the Ozarks. It happened just before midnight Saturday night when that boat ran around and hit the corner of the house. Ran aground, I should say. 6 of the 8 people who were injured are seriously injured. The youngest of them is 21. None of them from Missouri. The driver of the boat was arrested for boating while intoxicated, as you might imagine. Formal charges are likely to be filed today. Can you even imagine being in a house and a boat coming through?
Yeah, I saw the pictures of it. The whole corner of the house was knocked in. The bricks are knocked off. That would be unbelievable to be in that boat when it, first of all, hits land. You go flying out, hopefully, before you hit the house. But just it could have been so much worse. But that's the kind of thing that can happen at Lake of the Ozarks because houses are fairly close to the water there. I think at Table Rock, they have to have a lot more space away from the lake, so it's not possible there. But man, oh man, what a scary situation. And, you know, I'll call him a kid. The youngest one was 21, so they're all of age. But boating while drinking is not the thing to do. It's so dangerous for everybody involved.
All right, now to this. A new emergency room is coming to South Springfield near Ozark. Mercy Hospital is planning a new ER next to Mercy's Orthopedic Hospital just off Evans Road. You know the one. Part of the reason is to speed up wait times in the Springfield emergency rooms. The new ER should be open in 2025.
Yeah, that's a welcome deal because all the people coming from south of Springfield, that'll save them 10, 15 minutes getting to the hospital, and maybe it slows down or it speeds up wait times. You don't have to wait as long at the other ERs. So that'd be nice.
And that's a nice piece of land out there. They got a lot of land right there off Evans Road where the orthopedic is. So, yeah. Yeah,
there's room to grow for sure. This is cool. The month of June was the busiest ever at the Springfield Airport. More than 126,000 people took flight from there in June. That's cool. For the year, travel at the airport is up 10% compared to last year. So if that pace holds, which there's no reason to think it wouldn't, the airport is on track to see 1.3 million passengers this year, which is more than the previous record of 1.2 million, which was set back in 2019, right before COVID shut down travel and messed everything up. So good for the airport. A lot of
it is
people
amazing.
are ready to travel.
And we've already talked about parking out there. And again, we were out there recently, and sure enough, it was full to overflow. So this explains why. Good for them.
To the point where Sarah volunteered to go get the car when we arrived back and couldn't find it. Had to walk back in.
Here's you guys, I didn't
call in the reliever.
Car. I didn't park the car. That's why I couldn't find it, because I didn't park it. Ethan, however, has lost a car before that he parked. There's a difference. Like, I'm looking for something that I didn't have a hand in.
But so why'd you volunteer to go get it?
because I needed my steps. I'd been sitting on a plane all day long, and I had literally, like, my move ring showed like I'd taken 2 steps for the whole day. So
what's funny is that I didn't know where it was either, and I had an idea of where I thought it was, because your trips to the airport, and I've taken a few recently. They kind of all go together. But I generally park in the same area, so I found it really quick. I mean, I was back pretty quick with that car, wasn't I?
yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. That's all I was looking for was the.
I felt it.
It's good to be back, everybody. What a year it was for Evangel University. The school just set a new record for giving. Isn't that cool? It brought in more than $27 million in donations during the 2022-23 fiscal year. That's this is amazing, close to 3 times as much as Evangel has ever brought in any other year, almost 3 times as much. So that's a good year. And the economy hasn't been great this year, so that's even better. The school is planning several major construction projects on campus, as you may know, including a new 70,000 square foot state-of-the-art sports complex that will host the university's basketball, volleyball, football, and soccer teams. Evangel also saw an increase of more than 350 students enrolled, or 11% growth in enrollment. So it was a good year.
Good. Go Evangel. Very cool. Construction continues on a 12-mile trail system connecting Springfield with Ozark. I've been very excited about this. It's called the Chadwick Flyer Trail. We've told you about it before. Parts of it are already in use in Ozark. I have been on it. It follows a train track path between the 2 cities. Work is being done right now on part of the trail near Kissick Avenue in Springfield. When it's finished, it will connect Sunshine Street in Springfield with the Finley River in Ozark. That's exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. And it's a great use of train tracks. They're doing that kind of all over. And it makes good sense.
I've seen where they're working on it in Springfield, and I've been on it in Ozark, there by the OC that goes under the bridge. They built like a tunnel for it right outside the OC. So anyway, right now it's still pretty short, but obviously they're working on it to lengthen it as it goes. So if you're going to do it, make sure you're on foot, not on bike, because it's not long enough yet.
I'm curious to know how it's going to get through the city of Springfield, like from Sunshine Street. How's it going to get through the traffic and all of that? So
I don't know. I don't know about Sunshine. I'm trying to think.
Because that's where it starts.
Yeah. I mean, you can connect like on South Campbell, the Greenway. No, that's running I don't know. But I've seen him working on it like near the power plant, the old power plant.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's cool. All right. Marshfield is getting a new center to help homeless teenagers. It's called Zuzu's House. It'll provide counseling, life skills classes, tutoring, and more. It'll be set up to house 10 or more girls from 17 to 20, but will offer non-resident help to any 15 to 20-year-olds who need clothing, showers, and food.
Yeah. It's a shame that we need it, but we do. Nonprofit from Nashville is opening a chapter in the Springfield area. It's called the First Priority of America. That's the name of the organization. It helps students who form Christian clubs at public schools by sending youth pastors to help them organize and know their rights, all that sort of thing. There are almost 900 Christian clubs organized in public schools that the group is currently working to empower. Springfield Business Journal recently held its annual Economic Impact Awards. Its Lifetime Achievement in Business Award went to former Senator Roy Blunt, freshly former senator. He's, of course, from Springfield. 5 local companies also recognized, including Hertz Donuts, Jordan Valley Health Center, the Discovery Center, Victory Mission, and Mercy Springfield Communities. So congratulations to all making the business world work in Springfield. There's some good news regarding a new Alzheimer's drug. This perhaps is great news. It just finished phase 3 of testing and saw the strongest result of any Alzheimer's drug ever. That isn't saying a whole lot because there hasn't been much in the past that's done anything positive for Alzheimer's. That's just the truth of it. but this is showing some progress. So that's very, very good. The drug is called donanemab. Donanemab. It is made by Eli Lilly. Most encouragingly, the company reports that nearly half, 47% of the study participants taking donanemab had no decline of cognition and function for 1 whole year. That's good. That's compared to just 29% on a placebo. So 47% versus 29%. And donanemab showed clinical decline by 35% compared to placebo and resulted in 40% less decline in the ability to perform activities of daily living. So this is very promising news when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, which up until very, very recently, there had been no cure, no way of even slowing it down, no way of doing anything to help Alzheimer's disease. Diet, perhaps, but you couldn't bank on that.
I mean, I feel like we've done some stories on promising drugs for Alzheimer's, but I guess is what you're saying, none of them have like taken off?
Well, yeah, the one was promising, and then it ended up not being promising.
Okay. If you've been watching the Smithsonian Channel, you may have seen a guy from Willard on it. Derek Conti is a pilot and aircraft mechanic who moved to work in Alaska just after he graduated from Willard High School. He then went to the University of Central Missouri and then on to Alaska. Conti, I think that's how you say his last name. It's Conti. If you went to high school with him in Willard, you would know if I'm pronouncing the name right. Anyway, Derek is the focus of the show called Ice Airport, Alaska, which shows how much work it takes to keep the Americans there running when temps are regularly negative 36 degrees. If you can imagine. They got to battle frostbite along with some other mechanical issues that happen in those extreme temps. So anyway, you can check it out online on the Smithsonian Channel Facebook page.
Oh, that's cool. And what an interesting career choice for him and career place. We were in Alaska recently, and it was our first time in Alaska. My dad was actually stationed in Alaska during the Korean War. So he spent a lot of time there. My first time to Alaska, I think you'd been there one time before. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a fascinating place. It's beautiful, but we were there in the summertime. I don't know that I would want to spend any winter time at all in Alaska. Total darkness, just about
frigid,
and very, 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 very cold. So summertime's the time to go.
Yep. It is beautiful. That's for sure. How about this? Out with the old, in with the new. Elon Musk is changing Twitter's logo. So goodbye, Bluebird. You know, the little blue bird. I guess it's a white bird on a blue background, actually. But either way, that is going away. And he's making the new logo an X. Just an X. You will see it as soon as today. So keep your eyes open. Musk tweeted last October that, quote, buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. Which he is doing apparently right now. His rocket company, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, is commonly known, as you know, as SpaceX. And in 1999, Musk founded a startup called X.com, which is an online financial services company that you now know as PayPal.
Okay. So
he's obsessed, if I can use that word. That's maybe a strong word. He likes X. He likes the X app. The SpaceX, X.com, which became PayPal. Anyway, there you go.
So perhaps soon we'll be able to just on one app, buy a car, schedule a trip to space, and send a tweet all at the same time.
I guess so. Tesla. I mean, when I buy my Tesla and go to space, then I'll send a tweet about it using X.
Yeah. And pay for it with PayPal.
Hold your breath.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs are back at it, training this weekend, and so far without all-pro defensive tackle Chris Jones. Andy Reid's not too worried about it. It's a contract dispute. You know how those things go. He's got people working on it.
And dispute might be a strong word, because I read Andy Reid's transcript, and he seemed pretty genuinely not concerned. So I feel like dispute might be a strong word, but yes, the contract has not been settled.
It's a negotiation, I suppose. It's not a dispute, but I mean, these things happen, and If I were a football player and I could miss a couple of weeks of training camp, especially the first couple, I think I would. Especially if I was getting $20 million. That's what he's about to make, Chris Jones.
Plus some, because then there's like a cap on top of that. So that's just the base.
Yeah. It would make him, if that's the salary, it would make him the second highest paid player in his position in the entire NFL. So he's holding out. This is cool for Chiefs fans, though. Never too early to start thinking about football. The Super Bowl championship trophy, the Lombardi trophy, is coming to Springfield. That's right. It will be at the birthplace of Route 66 Festival, which is coming up Friday, August 11th. You can check it out from 4 to 6 in the p.m. at the Springfield Expo Center. Okay, August 11th, 4 to 6 p.m., Springfield Expo Center. You can see the Lombardi trophy, take your picture with it. Very cool. Also, the Kingdom Cruiser, that double-decker bus, and cheerleaders, the Casey Wolf. Everybody's going to be here for the beginning of the birthplace of Route 66 Festival, 6:30 for them. August 11th will be proclaimed Kansas City Chiefs Day in Springfield in honor of the Chiefs' multiple now Super Bowl victories. Springfield, the birthplace of Route 66 Festival in Springfield, August 10th through the 12th. There's a lot of live stuff going on, music and food and cars all over the place to celebrate the naming of Route 66, which happened in Springfield many, many years ago. So it's always a fun event. It's usually pretty hot for that. So be ready for it. Speaking of hot, we're going to be hot this week. 97 tomorrow, 95 today. So today will be the coolest day. Maybe some storms, small chance of storms. 97 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 98, Saturday, Sunday, 99. So the heat is not going anywhere. In fact, it's roaring back in Springfield.
Yes, the heat is on. And that Kansas City Chiefs thing, they are going to be in the parade too. So after you go take your picture with the Lombardi trophy, then you can go to, I think it's on College Street, where they will be lining up and checking out the double-decker bus that is the Kingdom Cruiser going through the parade at 6:30 that night. So that'll be fun.
Good for Chiefs fans.
All right. Well, make sure that you watch the real weather forecast with Abby Dyer, and she will have a better idea of just how hot, and maybe even looking forward to the birthplace of Route 66 Festival weather. I mean, we're a little far out, but you can check out. Give you a better idea than we can.
Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer. That is wherever you get this podcast. You can find that podcast. It's super easy at aroundtheozarks.com or on the Around the Ozarks app. We suggest you get that, and then you'll be notified whenever there's something new. And Ned's on there with the podcast, and Abby, and us, and you never know who's going to guest host when we're out. So it's a good time. We appreciate you watching and listening wherever you do that from.
All right. Thank you. Happy Monday. Have a good one.
See ya.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Here's your host, Abby Dyer.
Good morning and happy Monday. It is July 24th, and it was a beautiful weekend in the Ozarks, wasn't it? Pretty nice, summer-like across the area. The humidity was not as bad. I hope you had a chance to get out and enjoy some summer fun, because this week, the big story is that heat and humidity build right back in. We are not going to get much of a break from the incredibly humid and hot conditions that we've had around. They are coming right back into the Ozarks, and that's a big headline for us early this morning. The heat is back. It's that big ridge of high pressure. I've been talking about it for weeks now, and it's just persistent. I'll tell you what, across the area, we are talking about heat and humidity that's just not really going to give up too much. So that means that big ridge of high pressure that I've been watching, it's going to come back into the area, take hold of our weather pattern, and it acts like this big bubble of hot air. Doesn't really let go of us. We're going to see the heat and the humidity upper 90s for most of the work week forecast, and those heat index values, well, they're going to be well into the triple digits. Not quite heat advisory level, but anywhere from 100 to 105. So toasty in the Ozarks, and I don't think the heat and humidity really lets go of us much this week at all. When I look at some of the long range charts, I told you over the weekend, the reason that we had some of the cooler conditions was because we had that big ridge of high pressure kind of retreat back to the southwest. Now, heat has been a huge headline. I'm sure you've heard some of those heat headlines out of Arizona. Unfortunately, we've been hearing about fatalities from the incredible heat wave happening back in the Southwest and much of the southern portion of the country. Well, it's that same ridge of high pressure that builds back in and takes over. The middle of next week, I see it having a grip on the Ozarks once again, and we should see this pattern hold. I'm seeing this out kind of in the 10 to 14 day range. So looks like it's going to be hot as we wrap up the month of July and begin August. So prepare for the heat. Long range charts, they advertise upper 90s most days, not only this week, but also clear into the weekend. And not a whole lot of relief overnight either. We're talking low temperatures only falling back into the 70s. So the heat and humidity, it is going to be pretty incredible here as we head into the next several days. In terms of rain chances, well, we have rain chances in the forecast, but they are pretty low. I think we could have a few stray storms, some out there this afternoon, only about a 15% chance for rain out there today. Much like the storms that we had last week, though, if you get right underneath one, there could be some nice little heavy downpours, not really looking severe weather to me, but almost a daily rain chance in this forecast. The difference this week is that I keep the rain chance at about 10 to 15% with those rain chances. So we're not looking at these like all day washouts or severe weather. So that's some good news, but it's not going to be enough to cool us off. And I really don't think we get much rainfall in terms of how much ends up in the rain gauge. In fact, all week, less than an inch expected across the area. So not a big rainmaker for us this week. We do have a warm front in the area. It's one of the reasons that you'll see a jump in the temperatures and the humidity today. Better rain chances to kick off the new work week. They're going to stay north of the Ozarks, I think. Much of the plains seeing some rainfall today. Here in the Ozarks, we have a chance. Most likely you're going to end up dry. But it's one of those weeks to put the umbrella in the car, have it nearby just in case. However, showers and storms, few and far between in this forecast. The heat, that's what comes back every single day. 97 degrees for the high temperature on this Monday. You see a lot of sunshine in this extended forecast, and I think mostly we'll be dealing with sunny skies. As I said, I can't rule out that stray shower and storm, but it just is not a big enough chance for me to put it on the icons here. So I left it sunny every single day. The heat, the humidity, it will build back in. Today we've got a west breeze, but it probably won't bring us much relief. 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's not going to be too strong. All right, here is that weather brain twister question that we had around from last week. Wanted to show you this again. I'll give you the answer today if you had the weekend to discuss or think about it. Which animal did not take the very first hot air balloon flight? Who do you think got left out of the basket? Do you think it was A, a sheep, B, a duck, C, a rooster, or D, a pig? I saw many guesses, and the answer, many of you, just using kind of like weight distribution, you probably could have answered this question. But the answer is D, a pig was not in the basket, but the other three were. I wonder how they felt about that. I don't think I would want to be on the very first hot air balloon ride ever, but it went okay. The pig got left out though. Too much weight in the basket, apparently. All right, here is the weather quiz question that I will leave you with for tomorrow. Which big box store has a lower acceptance rate to work there than Harvard? Do you think it is A, Target, B, Walmart, C, Costco, or D, Whole Foods? Which one do you think is hard to get into? I will have the answer for you on Tuesday morning on Wake Up Weather with the brain twister question. If you need weather information throughout the day, make sure you head over to the website aroundtheozarks.com. We've got you covered up to the minute there. Have a great afternoon. Find a way to stay cool, and we will chat tomorrow morning.